Here's the Left of Lansing Friday Short for November 15th of 2024. News is breaking on this Friday that General Motors will lay off around 1,000 workers around the globe, but a majority of those layoffs will happen at the automaker's Global Technical Center in Warren, Michigan. GM also authorized the layoffs of another 1,000 workers earlier in the summer in its software and services organization. Now, if there's one mistake Michigan Democrats made while having the majority in Lansing, it's that they went along with a long-held tradition in the Republican economic playbook, shell out hundreds of millions of dollars in corporate subsidies and welfare in hopes of creating jobs here in the state. Michigan's not the only state, of course, to bend over backwards to attract corporations to their states, of course. It's been a perennial race to the bottom for all the states and their citizens, while corporations get all of the cash, while there are very little safeguards for the workers and the communities where they live. Now, earlier this year, I spoke with Bridge Magazine's Paula Gardner, who looked into whether or not these massive subsidies were generating good-paying jobs in the state, as the corporations promised they would. And according to that Bridge Michigan analysis, taxpayers spent $335 million on corporate subsidies in 2023, in which 40% of the jobs created were low-paying jobs. Even more, the majority of those subsidies went towards manufacturing jobs. Now, manufacturing is good, and we need to make things here in America, but we must also continue to diversify the state's economy, and that begins with investing in the people first. That's why it's so frustrating to read how completing another economic development bill for corporations is the first thing on the list for Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer and the Democratic leadership in this lame duck session. You'd think that after an election in which Democrats continued losing ground from working class Americans and Michigan Democrats lost their majority in the state house, you'd think that they'd want to pass some bills for working families rather than more corporate handouts. And there are some strong progressives like State Representative Dylan Wagella, who's introduced a bill to increase the state's corporate income tax from 6 to 10% and then direct that revenue to help give public school teachers a $20,000 raise. You see, Michigan ranks 41st in the nation in starting wages for teachers, and if we want to become a knowledge-based economy and prepare for the future, wouldn't incentivizing younger people to be teachers be a good start? Maybe. Naturally, the Chamber of Commerce is against that bill since its main job is to keep money flowing to the corporate donor base. Progressive Democratic State Representative Betsy Kafia, who also won re-election in a rural seat up around Traverse City, posted the following on social media, and I quote, "And aggregate mining bills are back as a quote-unquote bipartisan package because, of course, we have nothing, pressing to do around, say, shoring up basic human rights or anything. Lesson number one of my first term in Lansing, red team or blue team, big corporations run Michigan. I said what I said." And Representative Betsy Kafia is right on. Bills like this aggregate mining package that would remove a local government's ability to regulate sand and gravel mining, which, causes dust, noise, and gives companies the power to spread PFAS in the water. Isn't that lovely? Those bills are getting priorities over paying teachers, over passing polluter pay, which, again, the State Chamber of Commerce is against, or setting up some kind of resistance to the upcoming onslaught of decisions and orders coming from a new Trump administration in just a couple of months. Where's the sense of urgency? This is a perfect chance for Michigan Democrats to do the right thing and show that they want to invest more into the people and more into our communities rather than just handing over more and more money and more power to the corporate donor base. I'm not sure the Michigan Democratic leadership, like the National Democratic Party leadership, is getting the message. Email me, leftoflansing@gmail.com, if you'd like to comment on what I just talked about. Follow me on Facebook, the Gram, Twitter, and now on Blue Sky. Subscribe to the podcast and give it a good 5-star review, and subscribe to the show on YouTube as well. Take the battle to them and go Lions!